So what we tried to do was utilize technology. A lot of people like to use the buzzword AI. We built some real machine learning and AI over the last 10 or so years to really build an automated, streamlined process and product that's great for the end user, something that's easy to use. The origin story of Reveneud started about, call it 10 to 12 years ago. We acquired a company that was lending to subprime businesses on the thesis of the current product offering is not the best and most suitable for small business owners. So what makes Reveneud different from any of the other alternative financing companies for small businesses, I think, is our ease of use and the ability to put the power back into the business owner's hand, right? Because we've built these automated processes and we care more about the business revenue and cash flow versus the small business owner's FICO score. What we really do is we dive deep into the business, build something tailored for them that they can use to grow. Also, allowing them to have the power to leverage the capital in the cheapest fashion. So using it to cover payroll for a week or so they're not bouncing payroll. The cost of capital is, call it 50 basis points. So the ability to not have your employees walk out and being able to cover payroll and not having to come out of your own pocket is monumental. Our biggest challenges from an HR platform perspective is the fact that we were using everything individually, meaning, the benefits, the payroll, the onboarding, the offboarding, compliance, everything was fragmented. So I think for us, the ability to find something that honed in on everything and built a one-stop shop that we could use to do all things HR related was huge for us. It allowed us to continue to do what we do. The concerns we had with partnering with a business was for our HR, call it process, was really cost, which everybody wants to keep costs down and be competitive. But I think, in a competitive market, that's something that, you'll arrive at. Everybody will be somewhere around each other. What we were really looking for was somebody that we could trust, somebody that can own the whole process and make it easy to allow us to do what we do. So I think ExtensisHR has done a great job doing that. So what made us choose ExtensisHR, I think, is the ability to aggregate all in one place and really have that trust and responsiveness. I think, I could speak for me personally. When I had my first son, I think the hospital messed up the birth certificate, and it was near impossible to get him onto my health insurance. I called the whatever number, whether it was on the back of the card or the website or whatever it was. I had somebody within minutes get on the phone, solve it for me, help walk me through the process. So the ease of use and trust, I think, is monumental. That made us, granted, that story was after the fact that we chose you guys, but I think the fact that you have the one-stop shop and there is reliability and the customer service is phenomenal. So we really want our employees to have the best user experience. Obviously, like we talked about, cost is one thing, but ease of use and having experience and allowing people to feel like they're taken care of from an HR standpoint really allows them to focus on the job, which is at the end of the day what we care about. Well, hats off to ExtensisHR. I think you guys have done a great job of allowing us to go remote. The onboarding and offboarding is super streamlined. The compliance, state, based and so to speak. And so I think for us, the ability to go remote is opportunistic in the sense that, I'm not just pulling from New York and New Jersey anymore. We're really looking for the top talent in the individual, departments and spaces that, across the country, and the ability to onboard and offboard them if it doesn't work out and get them set up is monumental. It makes my job easier and it really allows us to look for the right talent versus, fitting somebody in just because of their ability to come into the office. ExtensisHR has impacted our leadership team immensely because it's allowed people like myself to operate. The fact that it's so easy to use, the fact that you can log in and, whether it's get your W-2 or, healthcare information or pay stubs instantly, it frees up the time of thinking about that to actually think about operating and scaling the business. Over the last 3 to 5 years, we've really proved out proof of concept, found out what makes businesses tick, how to actually do a deep dive into the business, refine our models. But we're at a point where we're comfortable and we're really looking to scale ourselves. So the ability to get our Visa business card or our business flex line into the hands of as many small businesses across America as possible, that's our goal. And so, we'll do it by embedding through, platforms like, ExtensisHR and building ease of use and products specifically tailored, whether it's covering payroll for a week, or, right there on the platform, so you don't need to leave. That's something that we want to do. So the next phase for us is an embedded strategy that really allows businesses to access our capital in the fashion in which they would want to use it. So I'd easily, recommend ExtensisHR to our network strictly because of the ability to just not think about what you're not an expert in, right? So if you're a small business trying to scale your business, whether it's a pizza shop, whether it's a construction company, not thinking about HR and really focusing, having that taken care of and being able to focus specifically on what you do is something I talk about in business all the time, which is, scaling and focusing and delegating, tasks to people that are experts at it. And that's what you guys do.